We have a special announcement to start this week's World on Water. For the second time, criminals have hacked our primary World on Water Sailing Highlights channel on YouTube, and it is currently showing a Bitcoin video. We are endeavoring to get it restored, so please bear with us, as lots of people are working on it. Meantime, subscribe to this channel, as it will carry all our sailing uploads. Thank you. Now, here is our Sailing Highlights show for March 7th, 2025. Enjoy!
This is your Global Sailing Highlights Show, The World on Water, March 7, 2025. The Juan K 88, Lucky, skippered by Bryon Ehrhart, clinched Monohull Line Honours with an impressive performance in an elapsed time of 1 day 17 hours 14 minutes and 12 seconds. Lucky is on a winning streak, having claimed Monohull Line Honours and set a new race record for the RORC Transatlantic race this January.
These are very fast boats against us, and you got to get so many things right. The ley lines right, you've got to get shifts right in order for that to work, and to end up just ahead at the finish was exciting for us. It's our fourth time doing it, and we've always enjoyed the ability to race a good race until you get to Guadeloupe. Of course, when you're in the lead, as we were this time to get there, you go first. So you become the guinea pig. People see where you go. We saw today that Leopard went a little bit further out because I think they saw that we looked like we were in trouble there. But we were able to catch breeze after only a limited time of very slow speeds and get out of there at the right time. It was very close racing all the way. You have to perform at a very high level. The crew did and won in navigation. It all came together for us. We're happy to be line honours with Lucky.
Well, the Royal Caribbean 600 is amazing. It's a course for us navigators. It's basically non-stop. It's one thing after another. There's not a single minute of relaxation, of chilling out. It's just making sure that the boat doesn't hit any rock, just trying to go as close as possible to the headlands, to the turning mark, the lee side of the islands, the wind shadows. So all these ingredients make, especially for navigator, and for everyone actually in the crew, because there's a lot of maneuvers, a lot of sail changes as well, makes pretty much working all the time, non-stop.
We have a performance characteristic when we start to reach or run that allows us to get up on our chine and move quite quickly with the triple heading. It's really hard to beat us if the wind is up. If the wind is light, then we would have been beaten. But thankfully, Antigua brought us great winds. Leopard is a great competitor. We've raced against her all the way back from when I had a TP52. In fact, we were tied up next to her looking like a dinghy. So I've always admired that Leopard program. It's done so many great things over so many years. Honestly, when I ever leave the dock, I don't think we'd come ahead of Leopard in a line honours duel. And it was a great duel. So we congratulate them on a great effort. We love the competition. We aren't always going to come out on top. They aren't always going to come out on top. And that's what we love about sailing.
The 44 Cup, a global racing tour, with owner-drivers and professional crews, descended on the BVI for some warm water and hot racing in the winter months. The Nanny K Cup, the series finale of the 44 Cup, took place in December, and the 2025 season opener concluded at Nanny K. The Royal BVI Yacht Club hosted the event with Nanny K.
So for the 44 Cup, the Royal BVI Yacht Club is the host club. Our involvement is to provide the race management on water support for the event. They bring in a professional principal race officer, and we work with her to ensure that the races run smoothly, which means we are taking care of the committee boat and the mark laying boats.
How many people did you have on the committee boat? How many people were out on laying the marks?
This time around, we actually had more people on the mark boats. We had 3 or 4 on each mark boat. And on the committee boat, we were 6.
How many mark boats did you have?
2 mark boats. One of the mark boats runs the 2 windward marks, and the other mark boat runs the leeward gate and the start line. This event has been 5 days on the water. The spring regatta for the major fleet racing side is 3 days, but we run 2 race courses. Therefore, we need to man 2 committee boats and 2 sets of mark laying teams. Yeah, I think here in the BVI we're really fortunate that there's a lot of very good sailors, a lot of experienced racers, and over the 50 plus years now for BVI Spring Regatta, and of course the yacht club's regattas that we run throughout the year, we've built a lot of experience, which means that we have a lot of people with a lot of good skills and a lot of good knowledge. But I would say even more important than that is the goodwill of those people to sign up for these events as volunteers. It can be a big ask, but we're very fortunate to have a core group of people who are also willing and able to train the next generations. I think that's one of the hardest things for a small place like the BVI, is having that future-proofing your race management to ensure that the races in the future can also be run to such a high standard that it's become expected of us here.
Could the regatta exist without volunteers?
Never. There are none of the regattas, I think, the world over could exist without the volunteers. It's the lifeblood of the community, of the sailing community on many levels, and the volunteers stretch, certainly for Spring Regatta, it's on the water and it's off the water. So without the volunteers, we would not be able to run either of them or the regattas that we can put on. So I think it's in the DNA of people who live here, that they're eager, they're willing to volunteer, and they want to learn. A lot of people that are new to sailing are keen to come and volunteer with us on the race committee boats because it helps them learn more. And if they're not quite ready for racing themselves, or they're beginners to racing, coming out on a race committee boat or a mark boat is a brilliant way to see what's going on. Volunteering is a really easy way to get involved with an international event without competing yourself. At the 44 Cup and BVI Spring Regatta, we get a lot of professional sailors, Olympians, America's Cup sailors. Just really exciting to be watching them do their thing.
The IRC Super Zero class of the RORC Caribbean 600 showcased a fierce yet friendly rivalry among some of the world's fastest offshore monohulls. Teams demonstrated exceptional boat handling on a course that weaves day and night through islands and rocky outcrops. Chus 2 was the winner of IRC Super Zero class after time correction. Second was Mills 72, Balthasar, with Louis Balkane at the helm. George Procopius, Volvo 70, Iolos took third after IRC time correction, by less than an hour from Balthasar.
This is probably the sweetest transatlantic crossing I've done, downwind all the way.
It's hard to put in words, but if you look around, all you see is ocean, right? And there you are sailing along and trying to keep the boat on the heel angle. That's perfect. And then you look around and just see this beauty. And I think what you really realize is how big the Atlantic is. And I have to say, these professional sailors, I throw my hat. I mean, 4 hours on, 4 hours off, 4 hours on, 4 hours off. Then you just get off watch, and then somebody says, "Oh, we have to jibe."
Guys work incredibly hard. You know, sometimes it's like waking people up. Sorry, I've got to jibe again. You know, sorry. We did 47 jibes in this 8 days, trying to stay where we wanted to be. The off watch hardly had an off watch. I think someone told me not far out of here, maybe 1,000 miles, you got 3 more jibes on my off watch. I got given a limit.
We took what I think now is a pretty standard watch system, which is 4 on, 4 off. We split it so we don't have everybody changing every 4 hours. There's a sort of rolling watch that we normally have 2 or 3 people coming up every 2 hours, so the new group of people every 2 hours. And on the face of it, you'd say, well, that's great, 4 hours off. But it doesn't work like that, because in your 4 hours off, you bail out the boat, you repair stuff, things break, you eat, you drink, you organise other things. So in effect, on average, I suspect on this race, I'd have got, like everybody else, 2 hours, 15 minutes.
We lost our wind gear 3 days ago in a big squall, and these guys drive at night without any wind gear, without any instruments. We were going pretty quick. We didn't go much below 20.
Sailing without wind gear can be very challenging at the best of times, so especially at night when you can't see. So we're very fortunate we had just enough light to have some stars, a few clouds, so we're able to just lock in, really just use our heading and heel angle on the boat and how it feels. Really back to basics actually, just sail by feel.
Yeah, no, we had a bit of a challenging last couple of days. Sort of head scratching in the nav station, you know, are the guys really sailing at a VMG angle, or, you know, do I have to take 5 degrees off and try to figure out what the wind direction is to work out how far we need to go? Back to basics, had pencil and paper out, you know, doing some sums. No, it was interesting and challenging.
Why do I do offshore racing, right? And a lot of people would say at that age, you're crazy. But I figured I want to give it a push, and we'll do the Transatlantic over, Caribbean 600, Transatlantic back, and then the fast nut. So that's the program.
We shared the driving, the trimming, the bailing the boat, food, prep, everything. So it was just a really, really solid team effort and great to be a part of.
Winning the Transatlantic trophy, I'm very, very excited, and I couldn't be happier for the team, for myself, for our supporters, for our sponsors, ICE. And I mean, how cool is that? So, I mean, come on, it's just amazing.
The reason for having a week-long regatta is meant to put sailors to the test for different weather conditions. Summing up the Sun Hung Kai and Company. Hong Kong Race Week 2025, incorporating the 2025-29 Asian Championship, all races were completed to schedule. There was a little bit too much fog, which really did hamper the racing and the visibility, because when it's not foggy, Hong Kong is a beautiful place to look at, but the sailors are all in and safe.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very unique because in Hong Kong you don't have such a big event for the youth. And in fact, well, if you look at the number of participants, this year we have 317 participants, 286 entries representing 12 different countries and regions in Hong Kong.
But I love the number of young people here, the energy, the vibe, so many happy faces. It's such a great event.
Well, it's grown, hasn't it? And each year we come up with something better. We do wash-up notes, we come up with something better for the following year. And there's a huge engagement of the whole club into it.
我好榮幸可以攞到第一啦，都有少少出乎意料嘅。
But I think for us is maintaining our speed during light winds was definitely the tricky part. But during the breeze, it's really good.
The 2025 Teakle Classic Lincoln Week has been run and won with the winners locked away for another year. Division 1 IRC Reverie, Alan Woodward. Division 1 AMS and PHS, Roadrunner, Paul Hayes. Division 2 IRC, Clockwork, Andrew Lloyd. Division 2 AMS, Loch Sloyd 2, Peter McFarlane. Division 2 PHS, Audacious, Stuart Johnson. Division 3, PHS, Too Hot to Trot, Craig Bascom.
Yeah, that was probably the toughest day. I mean, we knew coming into it that we still had to hold our own and watch the other guys, but most importantly, try and keep the boat speed. That boat, unfortunately, is quite a lot slower in those conditions against the Cape. Tried to take a few gambles, didn't pay off, and ended up a fair bit back on that first race of the day. So we had a lot to play for in the last race, which was great. You know, if you came into that last race and had it all and you could just relax, it probably wouldn't have been as fun a finish. So trying our best to get a clean start. We're over the line, but yeah, we recovered really nicely. And Lily, who was sailing with it, she was fantastic. She just really got into the phase at the end and just really saw the shifts coming and worked really well. So we're just really happy to have her along and help get us going. And yeah, good vibes. You know, we're so happy with that outcome. To win the race here was just awesome for Al. He hasn't done it many times at all. You know, this could have been a last hurrah, but I reckon this just revs him up for another one.
Yeah, very pleased. It's very hard on handicap. You get over the finish line, you never know whether you've done it or not. But yeah, no, really exciting. We sailed well. It's kind of our breeze, but yeah, very pleased. It's awesome. We came over here because Adam, our navigator's done it before. None of us have been here before. I'm already looking at how I can cruise back in my yacht, which sits down in Kettering and Tassie. You know, it's just such a beautiful ground for racing, for cruising, holidays. You know, it's amazing. Yeah, really good. Pretty stoked with the last race. I think it's probably the only race we didn't have any real hiccups. We sort of got around the track without trawling the spinnaker or anything fun like that you do on sports boats. So, no, absolutely stoked with the result. Oh, it's pivotal to Port Lincoln Yacht Club, this event. It's our major event of the year. Everyone gets over it, everyone has fun. It's the place to be, and for my little boat, it's my first regatta owning a boat here, and stoked to get the win. My dad told me before we started that first Lincoln week he ever sailed with this boat he won, so the pressure was on, so I lived up to it. I'm pretty happy with that.
The multi-hull battle came to a conclusion with Mark Guillemot's milligram 5 wellness training, taking multi-hull line honours in an elapsed time of 2 days, 7 hours, 51 minutes, 17 seconds. Thomas Kasberg's ORC 50 Malolo was just over 20 minutes behind, but after time correction was the winner of the multi-hull class. In essence, honours were shared between the two teams, and a beer afterwards.
We are so happy. Very hard race because the condition is very super, but big waves, big wind, and a lot of tag, jibe on everything. We didn't break something, so on the boat is very fantastic.
I think the best moment was probably when we're pushing the boat maybe a bit too much, going 23 knots and stuff, and being just on the edge for this, you know, like the angle of death on a cat. I think that part was like one of the best.
After Barbuda, we sail 6 miles behind Malolo.
We were just in front of from them, like at the end. Well, thanks to them first, because without them, I think the race would not have been like that much fun.
10 miles before the finish line, we pass it, we pass them, and we are very happy. And we don't make a pause before the finish line, so it's a great day. So great.
Quite proud of like winning the fight at the end. It's just line honours, but it was pretty cool. Yeah.
And I'm so proud of all the crew members, Eric, Hélène, Martin, Nicolas, and David. So we have to come back. But next year we come back with a new sail, because the sail now are a little tired, like us, like me.